Okay. Now we got Francis Bacon, the greatest British surrealist, foolishly rejected by the movement. He was born on the 28th of October 1909, Dublin. Father, an English racehorse trainer. Mother, a wealthy socialite. Lived in Dublin, 1909. England, childhood. Ireland, 1918. Gloucester, 1924. Ireland, 1926. London, 1926. Berlin and Paris, 1927. London, 1928. Monte Carlo, 1946. London, 1948. Partners, Eric Hall, 1929 through 50. George Dyer, 1968 through 71. John Edward, 1974, 1982. 74, 92. Died 28 April 1992, Madrid. Man, that's crazy that we all gotta die, bro. It's just reading all these, bro. It's just damn. It's dawning on me like, damn, we gotta die like a motherfucker. Fuck. Strange to include Francis Bacon in this volume, but the fact is that he's considered himself to be a surrealist. He wanted to be a member of the British Surrealist group and to be included in their great 1936 exhibition. Herbert Reed and Roland Penrose visited Bacon's studio in London to decide whether to include him or not. But when they saw his work, they were dismayed by what they thought were religious elements in it. On this basis, they rejected him to his great disappointment. This was a tragedy for British surrealism because they accepted him. Oh God. Bacon, if they had accepted him, Bacon would have gone on to become a major figure in the movement. Instead, he found international fame as an independent artist. The rejection was based on a misunderstanding. There was nothing even faintly religious about Bacon's art. His interest in crucifixion was based not on Christian iconography, but on his own private sexual fantasies. Bacon was deeply involved in sodom, sodomastic, sodomastic practices, and the crucified figures were self-portraits. His early life provided some content for this interpretation. Interpretation. Bacon's father was a racehorse trainer in Ireland, and young Francis was a disappointment to him, living in an intensely masculine world based. Bacon Senior was horrified to learn about that his son. Senior was horrified to learn that his son was less than manly. His reaction to this discovery rebounded on him in spectacular fashion. His first mistake was to have Francis whipped by the stable grooms for being effeminate. As it turned out, Francis thoroughly enjoyed this. I need some water. A later mistake was to send him off to Berlin, the sexual capital. Need some water. To Berlin, the sexual capital of pre-war Europe, where anything went. Francis was in his element. His father had lost their family feud, and the young man was now at last free to do as he wished. Without going into the precise detail of Francis Bacon's sexual fantasies, prefaces later in life, it is generally acknowledged that he enjoyed being beaten. He once told the American poet Allen Ginsberg that he had obtained gambling money by allowing himself to be whipped with a bonus for every stroke that drew blood. This type of background knowledge does shed light on the tortured images in his paintings, but it does not explain their greatness. It is easy to imagine that as an artist, to preoccupied with masochistic masochistic. I don't know. Sexuals producing embarrassingly lurid images with no merit whatsoever. In Bacon's case, however, it is the restraint and the ambiguity of his images that made them so powerful and so haunting. Critics have spoke grandly of Bacon's depictions of the spiritual isolations of modern man, but the truth is that his paintings, the truth is that his paintings are almost totally personal and sexual in meaning. The bonus in which he depicts many of his human figures are not symbols of spiritual isolation. They represent the confinement of sexual slavery and bondage. Francis Bacon was a creative genius who also at times was a thief, a compulsive gambler, a drunkard, and a liar. Even his public statements by his own admissions are unreliable. I often say anything you know to pass the time to. Although there were many flaws in his character, Bacon was also, it must be said, a great conversationalist with a caustic wit and a wanton generosity towards those he liked. He radiated charisma when he entered a room and was endowed with great charm whenever he wished to exercise it.